What if the ghost you fear most is the one you've become, staring back from a cracked mirror? The sacred Riana's America's Got Talent audition gripped 84 million souls, but the cameras hid a darkness that clung tighter than her haunted doll. Her quarterfinals performance vanished into a chilling blackout, leaving viewers frozen in dread. Crew members whispered of eerie accidents, lights flickering, cameras dying, props moving inexplicably, and some refused to enter rooms where she rehearsed, swearing they felt an unnatural presence. In 2023, her world shattered when the last person who called her Marie died, plunging her into a silent abyss of grief and isolation. Her 2024 comeback wasn't just a return to the stage. It was a raw, soul-wrenching confession of fame's devastating toll, a desperate cry from a woman fighting to reclaim herself from the illusion she created. Marie Antoinette Riana Graharani, born July 13, 1992, in Jakarta, Indonesia, entered a world where reality and deception were inseparable. Her father, Christian Suprananto, was no ordinary magician. His psychological illusions were designed to unsettle, forcing audiences to question the fabric of reality. As a child, Riana watched him transform mundane rooms into realms where shadows seemed to whisper secrets and silence bore down like a storm. Jakarta's mystic undercurrent, tales of spirits, demons, and restless ancestors passed down through generations, wove into her daily life, shaping a childhood where the supernatural felt as tangible as the city's humid air. By her television debut, she was a living ghost story, her performances a haunting fusion of Indonesian folklore, her father's dark craft, and mind-bending psychological tricks that seemed to peer into the soul. In 2019, the horror film The Sacred Riana beginning painted a fictional childhood as eerie as her reality. Her family ran a funeral home in a remote Indonesian village, her father carving coffins with meticulous care, her mother preparing bodies with solemn grace. Young Riana, surrounded by death, found no fear, only peace, as if the departed were her truest companions. A catastrophic fire razed their home, killing her grandmother and forcing a desperate move to Jakarta, where loss became her silent shadow. On stage, this grief surfaced in her unblinking stare, her slow ceremonial movements, each gesture a brushstroke painting dread itself. Her art wasn't magic, it was a window into a heart forged in sorrow, a dance with fear that left audiences breathless and trembling. Riana was never like other children. While peers played and laughed, she stood in corners, her piercing gaze dissecting the world. Her questions about life, death, and the spaces between, asked in a soft, unyielding tone, left adults speechless, their answers faltering under her intensity. Ghost stories were her lullabies, cemeteries and abandoned buildings, her sanctuaries. She'd wander through Jakarta's oldest graveyards, tracing names on weathered stones, feeling a kinship with the forgotten. While others fled shadows, she sought them, drawn to their mystery like a moth to flame. Her family saw this wasn't a phase, but her essence, a soul born to walk the line between worlds. Inspired by Sadako from Ringu, her veiled hair, white, dress, and silent menace, she wove horror into the polished illusions of David Copperfield, Chris Angel, and Darren Brown. They sparked wonder. She summoned terror. Every twitch, every deliberate pause, every puppet-like gesture was honed through grueling hours of practice in her father's dimly lit studio, surrounded by mirrors that reflected her transformation. Off stage, she never broke character, her identity as Marie dissolving into the ghost she became, a sacrifice that blurred the line between person and phantom. Her doll, Riani, was more than a prop. It was her lifeline, her mirror, her tether to a self she could no longer find. Dressed like Riana, with long black hair and a blank, haunting stare, it held a fragment of her fractured spirit. "Riani protects me," she whispered in a rare interview, her voice barely audible, sparking theories it embodied her lost childhood, her innocence buried under layers of performance. When misplaced during a 2015 show, she halted the performance, her panic raw as she sent aides across Jakarta at midnight to retrieve it from a hotel, her desperation a wound laid bare. Her voice, a trembling wisp caught between child and specter, was perfected over months, each syllable crafted to send shivers down spines. She practiced in front of mirrors, watching her lips form words that sounded like they came from another world. Most chilling was her erasure of Marie, social media scrubbed clean, No photos, no posts, no trace of her former self. Friends found old yearbooks with her face blacked out, as if she'd erased her past from existence. To make the sacred Riana real, she burned away her humanity, becoming a legend at the cost of her soul, a choice that would haunt her for years. On November 17, 2013, Indonesian television met a nightmare on The Next Mentalist. As the sacred Riana, she glided on stage. Hair obscuring her face, one leg bent unnaturally, Riana clutched tight. Her silent, eerie act stunned millions, her minimal movements and ghostly presence defying expectations. She performed a seance-like trick, where objects seemed to move under their own will, leaving the audience gasping. Finishing as runner-up against seasoned performers, she sparked a frenzy, her clips amassing over 70 million online views. Was she a magician or something otherworldly? The debate raged, but the industry recoiled. Producers deemed her too terrifying for family audiences. 5 major shows rejected her, demanding less silence, softer makeup, a tamer act. One network executive suggested she smile more to ease viewers' discomfort, while another banned her outright, citing complaints from religious groups. Riana refused, her defiance a quiet fire that turned skeptics into believers. Her unrelenting persona, whispering off stage, avoiding eye contact, twitching unnervingly, frustrated crews. Directors resorted to handwritten notes. Interviewers faced cryptic one-word replies or silence. One journalist recalled her staring blankly during a 10-minute interview, answering only with a nod. Marie was gone, consumed by the specter she'd crafted, leaving only the sacred Riana. From 2013 to 2016, fame was a distant dream. Small gigs at local parties, weddings, and obscure venues paid meager sums, sometimes as little as $50 a night. Costumes, makeup, and props drained her savings. She often chose between buying new white dresses or paying for groceries. She lived in a cramped Jakarta apartment, its walls bare except for a single mirror where she practiced her haunting gaze. Family support covered rent during months of near poverty, as Indonesia's magic scene offered little financial reward. She rejected offers to perform as a normal magician, choosing authenticity over compromise. Isolation deepened. She skipped family gatherings, spoke sparingly, her voice a ghost of itself. Friends described her as a wraith, present yet unreachable, the girl they knew fading into her persona. Her mother once found her sitting alone in the dark, holding Riana, whispering to it as if it could reply. Her 2017 Asia's Got Talent audition changed everything. Emerging silent and twitchy, with Riana in tow, she mesmerized with illusions that felt alive. A card trick where the cards seemed to crawl across the table, a photograph placing her beside Judge Anggun, who swore she wasn't there. The clip terrified 70 million viewers, Anggun's visible fear, her eyes wide, her hands trembling, fueling its viral spread. Backstage, Anggun admitted to sleepless nights, haunted by Riana's presence. On December 14th, against a favored Filipino dance crew, DMX Convalenos, whose high-energy routines had dazzled judges Jay Park and David Foster, fan votes crowned Riana the first horror act to win a major talent show, claiming $100,000. Backstage, her aura tormented Anggun, who fled sets and battled nightmares, while crews quipped she needed therapy after each act. Riana's victory redefined what a talent show winner could be, proving fear could triumph over flash. Her win sparked a global frenzy. Media outlets from BBC to CNN covered her story, and her Instagram following surged to 1.2 million overnight. Her 2018 AGT audition became a global phenomenon. Approaching Mel B with a tattered newspaper clipping of a deadly fire, Riana had her select a murderer from a lineup of victim photos. A Polaroid developed, revealing a ghostly figure, Bob, the killer, lurking behind Mel B, who screamed in raw terror, her voice cracking as she backed away. Simon Cowell, rarely rattled, slammed the buzzer in panic, not boredom, startling the audience and judges Heidi Klum and Howie Mandel. The clip exploded to 84 million views, fans dissecting Cowell's fear as proof of something supernatural. Her August 23rd quarterfinals escalated with voodoo dolls and ghostly doubles centered on Mel B mid-scream, the broadcast cut to black. A deliberate producer stunt to amplify the terror, later revealed in a leaked memo. Social media erupted with theories, technical glitch, censorship, or something darker. Crews reported chilling incidents, flickering lights, cameras failing, unexplained cold spots in the studio. Some refused to enter her rehearsal space, whispering of footsteps heard when no one was there. On August 27th, she was eliminated, outvoted, by safer acts like duo Transcend, whose acrobatics charmed voters. The rejection cut deep, leaving Riana heartbroken, feeling the world wasn't ready for her art's raw intensity. She later confided to a friend, "I gave them my soul, and they wanted tricks." Her 2019 film, The Sacred Riana Beginning, premiered March 14th, weaving a fictional tale of a girl bound to a cursed doll named Riani after a tragic fire forced her family to Jakarta. Directed by Billy Christian, it grossed $1.2 million in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, cementing her as a regional horror icon. The 2022 sequel, The Sacred Riana 2, Bloody Mary, filmed in central Java's Vanderwijk Fortress, a 17th century Dutch ruin steeped in ghost stories, plunged deeper into terror. Riana played a girl searching for her lost doll in a haunted dormitory. Her performance so raw that crew members avoided her off-set, unnerved by her silence and eerie movements. Director Yudiarto Suseño noted in a 2022 interview that some extras quit, citing nightmares after working with her. The film's advanced effects, ghostly apparitions, blood seeping from walls, packed theaters, earning $2.5 million. Riana's total immersion alarmed castmates. She stayed in character even during breaks, eating alone with Riani propped beside her. From December 2019 to March 2020, she judged The Great Magician in Indonesia, critiquing with sparse words and ghostly poise. Contestants felt both honored and terrified, unsure what her silence meant, approval or judgment. Her presence boosted ratings by 15%, viewers tuning in to catch her unpredictable reactions, like a single raised eyebrow that sent a contestant trembling. Her Spotify podcast, Kisah Horror: The Sacred Riana, launched in 2020, weaving personal anecdotes with Indonesian legends. Episodes like The Girl in the Mirror and Whispers from the Grave felt like ghost stories whispered directly into listeners' ears, earning 500,000 monthly streams and a spot among Indonesia's top horror podcasts. In July 2023, her Conjuring live show in Kuala Lumpur's Plenary Hall drew 2,500, using audience relics, lockets, letters, items tied to the dead, for haunting illusions. Tickets, priced from RM288 to R688, sold out in hours. Attendees described feeling watched during the show, some clutching their relics as Riana summoned their stories into her act. In December, Singapore's Star Theatre hosted her 12-part journey through the afterlife, every seat taken for a performance that blended seance-like illusions with existential questions, leaving audiences questioning the boundaries of life and death. By 2019, Riana lived entirely as her persona, unable to find Marie. Doctors diagnosed dissociative identity tension. She spoke of herself in third person, her real name forsaken. Friends and family watched helplessly as she slipped deeper into the ghost she'd created, her humanity buried under layers of performance. Her childhood friend Sari recalled in a 2020 interview finding Riana alone in a park, staring at a pond with Riani in her lap, muttering, "She's not here anymore." In August 2023, her grandfather's sudden stroke shattered her. The last, to call her Marie, he remembered the girl who giggled at card tricks in their Jakarta backyard, not the specter she'd become. Grief halted her career. She canceled shows, locked herself in her Jakarta apartment, unresponsive even to Riani. Her mother found her curled up in a corner, surrounded by untouched food, the doll staring blankly from her bed. By October, a full breakdown led her to a rural wellness center in West Java, a secluded retreat surrounded by rice fields. Clutching Riani, she stared into mirrors, searching for the girl she'd buried. Therapy stripped away the costume, the makeup, the mask. Sessions involved drawing her childhood memories, simple sketches of her grandfather's smile, a deck of cards, a time before the ghost. In December, a simple card trick for another patient sparked tears and a trembling smile, rekindling the joy she'd forgotten. By January 2024, she left the clinic, fragile but stronger, still grappling with who she was beneath the illusion. Her global journey was a roller coaster. On August 31st, 2019, Britain's Got Talent. The champions eliminated her in the first round, despite her massive following and 70 million online views. Fans were stunned. Judges like Alicia Dixon seemed unmoved, perhaps craving something new. In January 2023, AGT, All Stars invited her among 60 elite acts. Her 2018 audition's 84 million views, a testament to her impact. Howie Mandel admitted terror, describing her act as like staring into a void, but her performance felt familiar, leading to another early exit. Frances Lafrance, un incroyable talent in autumn 2022, saw her reach semifinals, Judge Marianne James praising her as a haunting masterpiece that France will never forget. She used a French volunteer's locket to summon an illusion of their late mother, leaving the audience in tears. Yet, Italy's 2023 Disney Plus Got Talent rejected her in the selection round, her act deemed repetitive by viewers saturated with her viral clips. Italian critics noted her style felt too familiar in a digital age where her 2017 and 2018 clips were endlessly looped on TikTok and YouTube. Her February 2024 comeback in Perth, Australia, was a rebirth. Alone. The Sacred Riana performed February 2nd, 18 at the Enchanted Ballroom, sold out 11 shows, every ticket gone within days. Fans, old and new, packed the 200-seat venue, the tension so thick some fled mid-show, unable to bear the dread. Riana wove her grief, her loss, and fame's crushing weight into illusions, using audience items, rings, photos, relics of loved ones, to craft intimate, chilling moments. One night, she held a widow's wedding ring, conjuring an image of her late husband that left the room sobbing. Her social media revived, sharing raw glimpses of her pain. A trembling hand holding Riani, a tear-streaked face behind the makeup, a caption reading, "I'm still here, somewhere." Each performance posed a piercing question. What if the ghost you fear is yourself? No longer just terrifying, she bared her soul, blending horror with raw vulnerability. Audiences left shaken, moved, some weeping, others whispering her name in awe. Her 2024 shows extended beyond Perth. In March, she performed at Jakarta's Taman Ismail Marzuki, a homecoming that sold out 3 nights. Fans brought relics of their own losses, a locket, a child's toy, a faded letter, which she wove into illusions that felt like shared rituals of grief. One attendee described feeling their late father's presence during her act, leaving in tears but lighter, as if unburdened. In April, she took Alone to Bangkok's K-Bank Siam Peak Ganesha Theatre, where 1,800 seats sold out in 48 hours. Tai-ai, audiences unfamiliar with her full story, grappled with her blend of horror and humanity, some calling it a mirror to our own fears. In June, she performed at Manila's Aliw Theatre, a nod to her 2017 Asia's Got Talent win, where 2,000 fans filled the venue. She used a soldier's dog tag to summon an illusion of a battlefield, leaving veterans in the audience visibly shaken. Her performances evolved, no longer just about horror, but about confronting the human condition, loss, identity, the cost of becoming a myth. She began speaking in interviews, her voice soft but clear, hinting at her journey back to Marie. In a May 2024 interview with the Jakarta Post, she said, "The stage saved me. It's where I find her again. Marie, the girl who loved magic before it consumed her." Tears welled as she spoke, a rare glimpse of the woman behind the ghost. Can a ghost reclaim her soul? Riana's journey, from a girl lost in Jakarta's shadows to a global icon, then a broken soul, and finally an artist reborn, reveals the cost of living as a legend. Her story isn't just about fear. It's about the courage to face the mirror, to peel away the mask, to rebuild what fame shattered. She's not just the sacred Riana, she's Marie, a woman who turned her pain into art, her stage a battleground for redemption. Her illusions force us to confront our own ghosts, our own losses, our own hidden selves. What ghosts do you carry, and how will you face them?
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.